Hello everyone. So let us solve this example using a signal flow graph. So for that purpose, I'm see what I did already. This is a system which was given, which needs to be transformed into a signal flow graph, and the final transfer function has to be found. Okay. So by block diagram reduction technique, already we solved, and we got the transfer function of this system as G1 G4 into G2 plus G3 divided by 1 plus G4 H2 plus G1 G2 G4 H1 plus G1 G3 G4 H1. So now what I am going to do is, initially I am going to transform this system into an equivalent signal flow graph, and from there on I am going to identify the forward path, feedback path, and then I will be applying Mason's gains formula to find the transfer function of the given system. Okay. So let this be the initial node R of S. Okay. So here I have the gain of G1, G2, G4. From here to here I have this G3. See ya guys, output. From here to here, the feedback path. Right? I hope we fixed all the nodes. Let this be the node S1, T1, and S2, T2. So we renamed all the nodes also. Okay. Maybe for okay. So now in this I am going to find out what are the forward path and the feedback path that is available between the input and the output. So let me take the forward path 1, which is comprised starting from R of S, then G1, G2, G4. So I can have the first forward path comprising of G1, G2, G4 as a with the forward path gain, and next I can have the next forward path comprising of G1, G3 and G4. Okay, and further there is no more forward path available. I have feedback paths only. So let me take the feedback paths to be feedback 1. So let me consider the feedback loops. G4H2, this loop comprising of this. So I can take this as minus G4H2. And let me take the another feedback path comprising of G1, G2, G4 and minus H1. So I can write this as minus G1, G2, G4, H1. And similarly I have one more feedback path FB3 formed by G1, G3, G4 and H1. So I have this G1, G3, G4 and H1. Okay. So we identified the forward paths and we identified the feedback path. And next what we need to do is we need to identify the non-touching loops. We have to identify the non-touching loops. So now if I consider the loop, this G4H2 is touching the forward path G2 and also forward path G3. And this is complete this feedback path is entirely the it's covering the entire system. Now if I consider this G3 and G2, these two are forward path and it does not constitute to a loop. Okay, so for this particular system there is no non-touching loops. Okay, there is no non-touching loops. So now we can calculate delta of the Mason's gain formula. Delta is 1 minus summation of loop gains plus summation of non-touching loop. Since there is no non-touching loop present in the system, my formula is truncated up to this. So I'll have 1 minus of the summation of all the loop gains, right? So I'll be having I should consider these three feedback gains. So minus G4 H2 minus G1 G2 G4 H1 minus G1 G3 G4 H1. So upon simplification I have 1 plus G4 H2 plus G1 G2 G4 H1 plus G1 G3 G4 H1. So this is my delta. Okay, and if you see the transfer function, of the system, so now we have the formula by Mason's rule. Okay, by Mason's rule we have G of S to be computed as summation K Tk delta K divided by delta. Now in our case we have two forward paths, so that's why I've taken K value from 1 and 2. So this is equal to T1 delta 1 plus T2 delta 2 divided by delta. Okay, so we need to find out delta K. So delta K, according to the formula, it is delta minus summation of loop gains touching the kth forward path. So now in this case, if I consider now that since there is no non-touching loop, whatever the gains present in this delta equation is again present over here. So I can write this as 1 plus G4H2 plus G1 G2 G4H1 plus G1 G3 G4 H1 minus G4H2 minus G1 G2 G4H1 minus G1 G3 G4H1. So the resultant value of delta 1 is equal to 1, and similarly for delta 2. So we can have delta 2, delta 1 both are equal to 1. Then therefore now we therefore g of s is equal to, so t1 is the gain of first forward path. We have taken as f1 there. I am going to write this as g1 g2 g4 into delta 1 is 1 plus t2 is g1 g3 g4 into delta 2 is 1 divided by delta. So my delta here is 1 plus G4H2 plus G1 G2 G4H1 plus G1 G3 G4H1. So the resultant system, again here I can simplify and I can write this as G1 into G4 plus G2 G3 divided by 1 plus G4H2 plus, again here also we can take terms common, or else even if you retain it as such, no issues. So G1 G4H1 into G2 plus G3. So now this is the required transfer function, which is similar to the one what we got by the block diagram reduction, right? Okay, so what we proceeded is correct. In the similar way, we'll take the next example. This is our example 2. So this is our example 2, right, in which we'll be identifying the forward path. So let me directly designate the terms what we use in the formula. So let me consider T1 as the gain of the first forward path. So the first forward path is identified as G1, G2, G3, G4. So I have G1, G2, G3, G4. Then the second forward path comprising of G1, G2, G6. So this is equal to G1, G2, G6. And do we have any other forward path? Yeah, we have this. What is that? Yes, we have G1, G2, G3, G5 and G6. G4. So let me take it as G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6. Okay. See, while considering all the feedback paths, we should not ignore any. Okay, we should consider all possible combinations of the loops present in the system, and by formula, by default, any of the terms are redundant, then that particular terms will be cancelled out. That is what we are while computing delta k. The redundant terms or the terms which are not included in the particular path will be eliminated. Okay, so that is why we have to consider all the possible combinations of the forward path and the feedback path. And I hope no more forward paths are present here. So I'll be identifying my feedback path. Okay. So let us take the feedback path 1, feedback loop 1. So let me have it with respect to G2, G3 and minus H1. So minus G2, G3 and H1, and feedback path 2 comprising of G2, G3, G4, H3. Okay, so I have this minus G2, G3, G4 and H3. And next feedback path what I do have is I can have G2, G6 and minus H3 is possible. So let me take the feedback 3 as minus G2, G6 and H3. And another path what I have here is this G2 minus H2. This also I can consider here. So I have the fourth feedback path as minus G2 H2, and I can have this possibility also from G2, G3, G5 then H1. Okay, so let me take the fifth feedback path as minus G2, G3, G5, H1. I think there is no more further combination possible with respect to the feedback path. So I have this as again now G5, G4 and H3. Okay, so these are all the 5 feedback paths I am considering. Okay, now so I need to calculate delta. So my delta is 1 minus, sorry, before that we need to find the non-touching loops. So the idea or the concept of non-touching loop is none of the nodes should be common. So if you take here in all the feedback loops, I think G2 is one of the common term. G2 is one of the common node in all the cases. So in this problem also there is no non-touching loops present in the path. Okay, so I cannot consider the path over here since all the loops are touching the forward paths. So my delta is equal to again 1 minus summation of loop gains Since there is no non-touching path here, so I'll be taking this as 1. Directly I'll write with plus. Okay, G2 G3 H1 plus G2 G3 G4 H3 plus G2 G6 H3 plus G2 H2 plus G2 G3 G5 G4 H3. So this is my delta, and how many forward paths we have? T1, T2, T3, 3 forward paths we have. Since for all, I think for all the forward paths, the loops are going to be the common, and we have with respect to this forward path again, it is a touching loop only. So we have this delta 1, delta 2, and delta 3 in this scenario to be equal to 1, and we have this g of s is equal to t1 delta 1 plus t2 delta 2 plus t3 delta 3 divided by delta. Okay, so now I have to substitute the values of t1, t2, t3 in this. So we have this and one more thing we missed out, not missed. Okay, yeah. So we have this G1, G2, G3, G4 plus G1, G2, G3, G4, G5 plus G1, G2, G6 divided by delta. Delta value is 1 plus G2, G3, H1 plus G2, G3, G4, H3 plus G2, G6, H3 plus G2, H2 plus G2, G3, G5, G4, H3. So this is the we require transfer function C of S upon R of S of the given system. Okay. If you want to verify this using a block diagram technique, then what you can do is I can construct a block diagram for the given signal flow graph, and from which I can compute or I can simplify the transfer function. So that also we can try it out here. So wherever I have the nodes, let me take it like a summing point. negative feedback over here, G3. Yes. Okay, so if we transform the signal flow graph into the respective block diagram, so we have the similar system. Okay, now we need to apply the block diagram reduction tools. So we need to identify the sequences: series block, parallel block, then minor feedback. Then we have to repeat the steps. We have to if we need to check if there is any requirement to split the splitting or shifting the branching points number. And initially there is no series block. We have a parallel block over here, and a minor feedback loop we can simplify by splitting this summing point. So here I can split this into four summing points. Since it has four inputs, I can have this in four summing points. Okay, so let me do it one by one. So again, in my case, this is RFS. This block is not will not come into picture at all. Okay, so I have this. So let me just a small notation. Whatever the blocks I'm transforming, I'm just highlighting with some different color. So if this feedback loop, if I want to simplify, then I'll get G2 divided by 1 divided by G2H2. Sorry, G2 divided by 1 plus G2H2. G3. Then I have here the parallel combination of this. So I'll get 1 plus G5 combined, followed by G4, right? So here I have the branching point G6, CFS, and here I have the feedback H1 branching from here H3 from this path. Okay, now I should go for the next level of reduction. Means again I need to look into that series block, parallel block, feedback, and then shifting of points anywhere is required. Okay, so again if I consider this, I have a series block, no other parallel block is there. If I move this gain block or this branching point somewhere ahead or then I will get a minor feedback loop and combination here. So what I am going to do is I am going to shift this point after this. If I do this, then these two blocks will be in series, then I'll get one minor feedback path. So in order to move this point from here to here, I should add a block of 1 by G3 in series to this. I should add it over here in order to perform this shifting operation. Okay, so in my next step, I'm going to combine this, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to combine these two cascade block. Okay, so let me slide this. So here I'm going to have a modified block by combining the two blocks G2 and G3. Okay, then so after G3 only my H1 feedback is there. Okay, then I'm going to combine this. Again, it's a product. G4, right? So again here I have the summing point plus, and here only from here I'll be having that branching. I need to add 1 divided by G3. cascaded with G6, C of S, H3 here. Okay, now for the next level of combination, I have this to be an minor feedback loop, and this as a series combination, and this combination as a parallel block. Okay, so all these things, let me do it in a single step, since we are familiar with this block diagram reduction. Okay, with that I proceed. Okay, so let me have this. Okay, so here if I simplify this one, I'll have G2 G3 divided by 1 plus G2 H2 plus G2 G3 H1, right? Then I have here these two are in parallel, right? So I can write this as one plus G5 into G4 plus G6 by G3. So I have this block. So the combination is eliminating this summing point. So directly I can write my C of S, but still this feedback path H3 remains unchanged, right? Then I have to repeat the procedure, combining the series block and then this minor feedback path, and then after completing this minor feedback and this in turn in series with G1, right? So let me take this to be an G1, right? So here plus in here I go for this modification, right? I'll expand and then I'll multiply. So I'll get here G2, G3, G4 into 1 plus G5 plus G2 G6 divided by 1 plus G2 H2 plus G2 G3 H1. So this is my C of S. So I have this H2, sorry, I have H3 here, the negative feedback. So again I can solve this feedback link, and then I can go for the final simplification that I have here. G1, and then I have this simplification. I'm going to have it uh, G2 G3 G4 into 1 plus G5 plus G2 G6 divided by 1 plus G2 H2 plus G2 G3 H1 plus G2 G6 H3 plus G2 G3 G4 H6 into 1 plus G5, right? Mm, So this is C of S and this is R of S. Finally, these two blocks are in series. So we have the desired transfer function G of S, which is nothing but C of S by R of S is equal to G1, G2, G3, G4 into 1 plus G5 plus G1, G2, G6 divided by 1 plus G2 H2 plus G2 G3 H1 plus G2 G6 H3 plus G2 G3 G4 H6 plus G1 G2, sorry, so here we have this G2 G3 G4 G5 H6. If you compare this transfer function with what we have derived by signal flow graph, I hope we'll have the same expression, right? Thank you.